Mike White got a little too confident.
Let's talk you got on the show.
Thanks, School of Rock. You can do whatever you want.
I'm ready, bro.
I'm ready too.
Take it away.
You got
I mean, I'm about to beat this guy.
Make him wait.
Nope, start. This is how we do it. I play better under pressure.
Alrighty, welcome back to the Son of a Boy Dad podcast.
Swallow.
Oh, yeah. Alrighty, welcome back to the Son of a Boy Dad podcast. Today it is April 7th. It's 1 p.m.
National Championship Day, if you're a college basketball fan.
Who cares? Dude, isn't it insane that the women's tournament ended yesterday?
Yeah.
UConn wins. The draft for the WNBA is on April 16th. Or maybe it's April 15th.
Uh-huh.
And then the WNBA first game is May 16th.
These women don't get a
They
break.
don't get a break at all.
Yeah, I hope they pack sandwiches.
Imagine winning a national title and then you're like, all right, time to be in the WNBA in less than a month.
Yeah, get to work. Like with basketball, with the NBA, the draft's not till June,
Yeah.
and then the season doesn't start till
Months.
October.
Months.
Yeah, they have time off, time to go to Cabo. They
Yeah.
had it like a young girl pregnant.
Yeah.
They have time to do that.
Guys, I lost.
It's because you suck.
Well, no, it's because I wasn't paying attention because you guys started fucking talking.
And I think they just don't want to give the women's basketball players time to get pregnant.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
They're like new uncold britches.
Yeah.
So like you need to fucking get these women on the court stat.
It's crazy to have that. Like, it's literally like you're playing in the title, but in the back of your head you're like, shit, I'm getting drafted next week.
Yeah, it's fucking
And
nuts.
then I just have to learn the entire playbook in the 1 week.
I don't think the playbook is as intense as you imagine.
I mean, it's professional sports. It's got to be a little bit tough.
Yeah, but you know, I don't think that the learning the playbook is. I think it's more conditioning and just going right into.
Well, they're probably right.
You ever watch college basketball versus pro?
Are you asking if I've ever seen pro basketball and college basketball?
Yeah.
I have. Yeah, I've seen both.
Very different, right?
Yeah.
Big time plays and playbooks in college basketball. In pro basketball, the coaches, unless you're Greg Popovich, defer to the stars on the team to run the show.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So there are fewer plays. It's much more one-on-one.
But like, if you're really good and you're in college as a girl, we're talking about women's sports right now, not men's.
Why?
Brother, I can't repeat the entire beginning of the podcast.
I heard it.
You can go listen back.
I'm just not
It
sure
comes
why
out.
you chose this thought.
Because it's the only sport that I've seen that has 1 month between the championship game and then you're in the WNBA playing your first game.
I think that the true answer is that only like 6 women are going to
Now
make
we're going to go to the WNBA.
of the like final couple
Yeah,
that are
makes
kind of
sense.
around.
Hockey players can go straight from the Frozen Four to playing in the NHL.
How much time do they have off?
None. They just swing right up. The seasons are commensurate.
They're condensed.
They run at the same time.
He's saying that with women's basketball, as soon that instead of running at the same time, like men's basketball and men's college basketball run at the same time. Women's college basketball ends and then WNBA starts.
God,
Immediately after. You play 2 seasons back to back.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, 2 full seasons.
That is crazy.
It is.
And you love women's sports.
No, I don't. I only know this because I looked up March Madness schedule, or I looked up Final Four schedule, and then the answer it came up with was the women's tournament schedule.
Yeah.
And I was like, why would this be what I was talking about? Unless Caitlin Clark was playing, why would that be what I was referring to? However, I haven't watched any of the men's tournament either. So I guess it could have either been...
There were 2 sick games this past
I watched the end of the Houston-Duke game.
Are you going to win that bracket?
Now Rudy's up by 20 points, and he also has the same final 2 that I have.
Ball knower. If Duke won, I would have almost won, but I think Nick's girlfriend would win over me.
If Duke won.
Yeah. Was she the same final as I did? Nick Senior's girlfriend?
She knows ball.
She does. She always has. Salute. No docs, but salute.
No docs, but salute.
You'll recognize her if you just see a ball knower out.
Yeah.
A lovely ball knower.
France didn't partake in the bracket.
I don't want to screw things up in these esport digital sporting events.
This one would have been pretty easy to not screw up.
That you guys
just
do.
Bracket.
Just not really a filler outer of forms and rosters.
I was really hoping that I was going to win it, but I'm going to come in second again.
Do you remember the year that?
No, probably not. Right off the top.
I think you will. UNC played Villanova in the final.
No.
And it's probably the most famous ending of the NCAA.
I don't really keep
game
up
ever.
with the March Madness.
Well, Villanova
I remember the
hit a buzzer beater 3 to win the game.
Wildcats.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I was, if UNC had won that game, I would have won my bracket pool.
Yeah.
Which had 50 people in it.
Yeah.
$3,000.
Mm-hmm.
I hedged by betting on Villanova, like $1,000, but they were dogs, I think. Yeah. So there was a very tiny window where if UNC had won by 2 or 1, I would have won both bets.
Oh, you would have won though.
I would have won both bets.
Sick.
And UNC hits the 3 to tie, and I'm thinking, holy shit, you know?
Yeah, I'm rich.
And I think, I needed UNC to win, but it looked for a minute there like I might win.
Well, they hit that Marcus Page hit that double clutch 3
Yes,
to tie the game.
That's exactly right. Double clutch.
Yeah, I grew up a big Villanova basketball fan. Like went to a ton of games with like a fake aunt.
Same. What year was this? No, my cousin went to Villanova. It was the first person I knew that went to like a college, like with sports.
That would have been like 2014, maybe, or something like that.
Probably something like that.
Would have been college time. Villanova definitely won one time when my cousin was in college.
Dante DiVincenzo was the star player on Villanova.
Yeah,
but he wasn't a starter.
She was dating Dante
I don't believe
at the time.
any of this.
Nasty breakup though.
Really? Well, he probably got that NBA money.
Yeah.
It was like, fuck you, bitch.
Yeah, that's kind of what went down.
And she was probably like fishing in the condoms from the trash can, trying to fucking squeeze one out just to fucking
That's insane.
get pregnant.
To say about my cousin, she listens to the show.
NBA,
Hear that? She's gonna be disgusted.
You're the one who said that.
And they all like you too. They're always upset. They're all obsessed with Brown.
That's
Not
insane.
anymore though. Not after that. Now Francis.
What kind of a shot is that? Why don't they? Yeah, well, I get that he's likable.
It's your turn. You're up.
Well, no, I was going to say
something
if she listens to this podcast religiously, then chances are she is fishing condoms out of a trash can.
Crazy. Crazy to say about my cousin.
Bro,
She'll hear this all.
you say crazy stuff about people's families all the time.
When? Ever.
All the
I don't
time.
know if I've ever said anything crazy about someone's family.
You insulted his children last episode.
Why? When did I do that?
I don't know why. No one can say why, honestly. It was just a nasty streak that we've never seen from you.
Yeah, he was.
And it made
talking
you start to wonder, is there stuff going on at home? Or is are you not getting booked as many stand-up comedy dates?
Yeah.
Very funny.
Anyway, that almost derails the gift that I have for you for your birthday.
Oh, really?
So I, probably a month and a half ago, I went to a place called Carne Mare. Are you familiar with it?
Heard of
It's
that.
like a steakhouse
Yeah.
in
Carne Mare.
Hudson Yard or Seaport area.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a very nice gentleman who worked there. He was like, I've been watching your battle raps for a long time. If you ever want to go to any restaurants in our restaurant group, let us know. They had Lafayette, so we went there on Valentine's Day. And then last night, went to, Loconda Verde is also.
That's better.
Very fun.
And we went to
I don't like Lafayette very much, but Loconda Verde is awesome. Robert De Niro.
Exactly.
Is he on it?
Bobby.
He owns the joint?
Bobby owns the place.
Really?
And this guy was like, he was like, Robert De Niro, whatever. He's like familiar with your work or something like that. And
Him?
No, Rome.
with,
Or you?
Or I don't know if he was blowing smoke up my ass or I couldn't tell. but he was like, when you go to the restaurant, his kids want to meet you. I guess they're rap fans.
Shit.
And if he's there, we want to like introduce, like, we want to like introduce him or something like that. I was showing you text messages.
It's a Niro?
To Bobby.
Damn.
Fucking, I'm sitting there after we got like the crostinis, arugula salad, 2 pastas, a delightful gnocchi. After the pastas, before the meats come out, a fucking hand on my shoulder. Fucking Robert De Niro. No. I turn around.
That was last night?
Yes. Last night. No.
What,
De Niro. And it was right after your birthday. So we like talked for a second, and he was like, "My son said you're like great rap, whatever." And I was like, I remembered it was your birthday, so I had him sign.
Oh my God!
No, there's no way this is real.
100%, brother.
Damn.
Let me see that.
What is it on? De Niro. Do you have trading cards?
Let me see that.
Is this real?
Real De Niro.
I don't know if I'm buying it.
Grade it.
I want to believe it, but I just can't.
Grade it, then.
I like this so much. I'd say there's like a 60% chance Rone is pulling one of his little.
Well, because last time he had a story like this, it was when he told me that he was doing blow with Jake Gyllenhaal.
That's exactly what it rings of. It has a strong.
And I feel like I'm
familiar
gonna go
sense.
like send photos of this card to my family, and then I'm gonna find out Rome was just he was in a taxi on the way here.
I'll show you the text to the guy.
Well, look, we can confirm that Rone did go to Loconda.
He definitely went, and it says De Niro on the front of the card. Did you see the front?
Here
The other side.
we go. Look, this is a buddy of his assistant. And Bob said, Adam for Rone? Is that Rone the rapper? His son is a big fan. Was pissed he didn't get a word him because he would have made it. So that was the first time.
You got a pig?
That's Robert De Niro said, Rone the rapper?
Yes.
There's just look
Look at this. Look at the text.
Robert De Niro's like 90 years old.
Yeah, but he has like a 10-year-old and like an 8-year-old.
Really?
Yeah, he's got young.
Oh yeah, I
kids.
forgot he has
Look at the text from the guy.
Rome the rat.
I thought he was blowing smoke.
Damn.
Dude, if this is real, this is up there with one of the coolest things
Oh yeah.
that you could ever have.
Yeah.
And rivals, but does not beat. My note from Harrison Ford.
I honestly thought of the
That
Harrison
says
Ford note.
to Francis, may the
Let
force
me
be
see
with you, Harrison Ford.
So you met Robert De Niro last night.
Yes.
What did he say?
He
And then
said-
you say, "Can you sign this card?"
He said, my sons say that you're a great rapper.
Damn.
And I said, it's my buddy's birthday. I said that you're a big fan.
Is this a different Robert De Niro? This kind of got that, but this says artwork by Robert De Niro. So he painted this?
Yeah, you're a wound socket.
In 48 he painted this?
He was born in 48. Smart ass.
Look, I will say,
I've never seen someone sign a painting with the date they were born.
Do you think that that's not real? Like,
I'll say this. The fact that he underlined the words is a celebrity type of thing to do.
It's also a Rone type of thing to do.
what do you mean?
We'll never know. We're never going to know if this
We're
is
never
real.
gonna know.
We're never going to know. I'm going to have to call the restaurant
You should.
and be like, dude, was Robert De Niro there last night?
You should.
Did he sign this?
You 100% sure?
Here's what we're going to do here, Paul. We're going to make our own reservation under Adam Ferrone. I thought about doing it. And I was like, if that's real from Rone, I will never live that down.
It's yours. Like, it's made out to you. Read what it says on it.
It says, "To Harry, happy birthday, kid. Go be great. Best, Robert De Niro."
Somehow, the most salient advice in such a condensed form that I could not have said it better myself.
To what De Niro
Don't
said?
be great.
yeah. To that body.
You are, the sky is the limit to you. And you should go be great. If you have that directive from Robert De Niro himself, then it is your duty here
I know.
now.
It's crazy that it just has his phone number on the card, too.
I have a photo of your card. That's a lie.
That's crazy, dude.
212-925.
Bro, don't dox De Niro.
That's his number? Should I just text him right now?
Thanks, bro.
How do I be great?
Teach me.
Rob, it's Harry. Rob, it's Harry from the card.
Yo, RD. RD.
RD Senior.
How do I go be great?
You saw, or yeah.
That's crazy. If this is real, it's probably the coolest gift I've ever got.
No,
It's
the
fake.
The true story is that is from both of us.
Yeah, me and Francis wanted you to have that.
Because I've been
You guys knew another guy named Harry.
Hmm?
You guys knew another guy named Harry?
No, what happened was I had a friend named Harry, and we photocopied that, and I gave another version to him.
And you guys just traced it onto the card?
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
The easiest way, a pure forgery like Abagnale would do.
His paintings look an awful lot like Bob Dylan's paintings.
What does that mean? What is Abagnale?
Frank Abagnale from
Oh, yeah.
Catch Me If You Can, the great forger.
Mm-hmm.
Is this similar to Bob Dylan? The colors are nice.
Great,
Yeah, it's like the exact same.
great transition. I watched A Complete Unknown.
Oh yeah, what'd you think?
I loved it.
Oh yeah, it was pretty good.
I loved it. Am I crazy for loving it?
No, I thought it was great.
Oh my god, I was just the music. I'm obsessed. I took my guitar off the hook on the ceiling where I haven't touched it in a year or two. Immediately started finger picking. If you're gone to the North Country Fair.
What'd you play?
Dylan.
Really? Is that one pretty easy to learn? Because all my friends knew. how
No,
to
all
play
of
that
his
one.
finger picking stuff is hard.
Oh, yeah.
It's hard to sing and finger pick.
Yeah, makes sense.
But I can finger pick. I just have a hard time doing them both at the same time. It feels a little bit like trying to do this, right?
But you're doing it.
Yeah, you were doing it completely fine.
But then if you switch, it gets hard.
Yeah.
And then going the other direction. It's just one of those things. I have a hard time separating the two parts of the mind to make.
Have you ever tried to play the drums?
Yeah.
Like actually sat down and tried to like get a beat going?
Yeah.
It's fucking impossible.
No.
It's so difficult.
I think some people have musical inclination and some people don't.
I do.
I think it's a combination of musical inclination and like motor skill. I think that some people, I have musical inclination, but not like very acute motor skill. Like as far as like being able to put a beat together, like I could find rhythm anywhere, but like I can't play drums.
I could do the like when you're getting the hi-hat and the...
Yeah, so you just make it, you
But
just
then,
start
like,
adding
once you
things.
start getting the foot pedal in, I'm fucked.
You have to practice a lot when you're
Yeah.
playing from a super young age.
Yeah, you're not doing it at all.
Yeah, I am. This is, you cross them, right?
Yeah,
go-
I get that pro move, but your foot is not, your foot wasn't meeting up with the, no, yeah, there's no.
You aren't aware.
But I could do the same
my
thing. You're
time.
literally, you're like,
No. You don't,
I
I'm
can
not,
do
I'm,
that.
you don't
I
have
can
to
do
just
that too.
do the bass drum. It's not just a bum, 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 bum. I'm going bum, 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 bum,
terrible
bum,
beat, terrible
bum.
beat.
Well, you don't know what
you
my
doing jazz?
hands are doing. Yes.
Awful. I was doing traditional rock.
Show me your rock.
Let's hear it.
Show me the
saw
rock.
it. I don't have to do it again.
I don't think you have rock.
I don't think I need to show off.
Give me your rock. You don't even know the time signature of rock. What's the time signature?
4/4.
Yes.
Yeah, easy.
Okay, what's the time signature of jazz?
6/3, 6/2.
Not your height, bro.
What is it?
I don't think it is.
It's something weird like that.
It might be 3/4. I don't know. Let me look that up.
Definitely isn't even. That's for sure.
I don't think that there is like a set rhythm for jazz.
I think that's the whole point of jazz.
Holy fuck. Did you enjoy the climax of the Bob Dylan movie?
They're saying it's 4/4 for jazz,
Interesting.
but it can also be 3/4. I said 3/4. 6/8,
what is it for
5/4,
rock?
and 7/4.
What is it for rock?
I think 4/4 is common time. That's the most.
Playing 4/4. That is.
Yeah, believe it.
I'm surprised that you knew that.
I played the piano for 8 years, and then I played the clarinet for like 4.
Yeah, 4/4 is rock.
You guys should play a crosshand piece together.
No, what we should do is we should do a contest who can play music better. Period.
Obviously, you,
Why do you give up like that?
because it's not even you play music like professionally.
No, I don't.
Your job, you play music on stage.
Yeah, but it's goofy shit.
Yeah,
Played
but
for 8
still
years?
music. Yeah, but I played from like preschool to like 8th grade or some shit.
What do you remember?
Nothing. I can read music I can read one scale.
You can read like center C.
Yeah. Outside of that, I'm fucked. Like I can go up to A on my right hand, but then once it starts going up higher, I don't know anything. I used to know it all.
But you can't get to B? It's one after A.
Yeah, but it fucks me up. Like I know, like
Can you do the crossover?
yeah, like I can.
Do you know where you cross over?
Here.
No, like with one hand. If you were to do a
Oh, like that, something like that.
after the 1, 2, 3, and you slide
Yeah,
under
you
with your
slide
thumb
over.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
That's what I did.
That's your
Did you
argument
see me
right
slide my thumb?
Yeah.
So you can play.
And if you were, by the way, if you were playing descending scales, well, you know what? This is too in the weeds. I don't think people are going
I
to
can play jazz scale very well.
Like which one?
Do 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 do.
Oh, I love that one.
It's
You got Miles Davis?
it's what? It's C. What would that be? I don't know. Who gives a fuck?
Mm-hmm.
You get the gist. I know it.
I'm impressed.
Did you like the climax of the Bob Dylan movie?
Which was that they what was it?
He plays the festival.
Oh yeah, with the controversial electric music.
Dylan heads like us already knew about that.
Like you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Robert fans.
I think that the movie almost like it wanted a bigger climax.
Well, the problem is there's not a lot of.
There just isn't.
There just isn't.
It wouldn't be true to his story.
There is, but it's just nothing about him is that well documented after like the 70s or the 80s.
Well, he got in his motorcycle accident and disappeared for 10 years.
But there's like no one even knows that motorcycle accident ever actually happened. There's no police report or anything.
Wow. Well, his tour manager, that guy he meets in the elevator in the movie, but that's not where he actually met him. That
no one knows if it actually was real or if it was
Bob Newworth.
excuse.
They stopped working together for 10 years and then rekindled after that because. So I do believe it happened.
I believe it happened too, but I don't think there's any proof that it happened. Like there's theories that it was just made up so that he could just hide in his Woodstock house for like a couple years.
It's enjoyable early on in the movie when everybody's kind of calling him out for like making up his backstory. And stuff.
Yeah.
I think that is a fair criticism of him.
I liked the scene where it's the Cuban Missile Crisis and New York City is evacuating.
Oh yeah.
I never thought about that.
Yeah.
I never really thought about that, about how in a moment of like that much terror and that much we're about to get nuked, people are like, well, they didn't specifically say New York City, but pretty good chance it's going to be us.
Especially if it's Cuba.
Yeah. So they
that's
just bounced.
Does a scene like that ever make you wonder if you really got it? If you got it in you? Because like when he goes and he plays Masters of War at like the open mic that night, I would already be back in Massachusetts.
I would be going. I've already Googled the largest blast radius for the known nuclear weapon with the largest blast radius, and I have mapped that against my place upstate to see if I'd be far enough away.
Would you?
I think so. Only just. But yeah, I think I'll go up there.
Right on the edge. You're coming up to your toes. The blast radius.
Roast marshmallows over the radioactive rubble that ends right at my feet.
Just ends directly in front of you.
Mm-hmm. And instead he stays and has a fuck fest.
Yeah, he fucks Joan.
Kylie Jenner.
Joan Baez.
Which, by the way, made them both look much more attractive in the movie. They were both not that attractive in real life.
I don't think they did up Timothy Chalamet too much.
No.
I know that Bob.
But he's a hot guy. Bob Dylan is like a...
Yeah.
Like a...
But I guess you could say Bob Dylan was a good-looking guy when he was younger.
I thought that Joan Baez was unbelievably pretty
in the movie,
and I thought that woman is a great singer and actress.
But that's not really what she looked like in Earth.
No, I know. But that scene where he's singing and she comes in to watch him, and then he walks up the stairs and they don't say anything. I watched him turn into the kiss with her 15 times. Heart fluttering. Romance. I got very romantic again.
That scene, I never rewinded that scene.
I watched it a bunch of times.
I also haven't watched it since I saw it in theaters.
I watched the movie, and then I watched it again the next day. That's how much I liked it.
It's a banger. It's a good movie.
Yeah.
I thought it was good. It made me appreciate Bob Dylan more.
I thought it was good. I don't know how I feel about all the biopics coming out though. About I don't know if I need. I realized they're putting out 4 for the Beatles, 1 for every member.
They're doing it like the Avengers.
Yeah,
they're gonna have like a post-credit scene. Where it's like, I'm back, Ringo.
You know what song I was listening to this morning? Actually, was the Ballad of Frank Crispy.
Mm-hmm.
You know that one?
From Dylan?
Ballad of Sir Frank Crispy. It's George Harrison. Have you never heard that?
No.
Oh my God, you'd love it.
I'm sure
it is right up your alley.
I love George Harrison.
It's amazing. It's crazy to think about how everyone knows the Beatles for obviously John Lennon and Paul McCartney, but George Harrison put out some fucking bangers.
George is the best.
I like it.
Hey, but those boys put out some trash too, though. Let's be honest with ourselves. There was like some post-Beatles stuff where they were like cobbling together absolute ass. They just were volume shooters.
Of 100%.
They were just volume shooters. They would put out a ton of fucking music.
Well, it is kind of crazy, too. I think George Harrison's most famous songs are written by Bob Dylan.
Really?
Yeah. I'm like 90%.
Who was George Harrison's shared ex with?
Oh, no. Not even close.
What famous
But they're up there.
musician?
I don't know.
And they were like really close friends.
George Harrison?
Yeah.
All right, I got to tell you, I hate to do it, but I got to tell a quick flight story.
All good, brother.
I'm so sorry.
The floor is yours.
If you guys are not into this...
Eric Clapton.
Eric Clapton.
Eric Clapton and George Harrison shared an ex, and then they collaborated a ton.
Wow.
Clapton. He's kind of fallen off the deep end, though. Hasn't he? Isn't he crazy?
No.
I think you're right.
I think he's fucking nuts.
Did he become a radical right-wing guy? Yeah.
I think he's like a white supremacist.
Yeah.
Yeah, his kid fell out the window, yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Banger.
But then he had Tears of Heaven, yeah.
Yeah. Good trade-off.
If you...
Yeah.
I always hear that
sung by a eunuch.
But yeah, being sung by some choir boy whose balls haven't dropped yet.
Do you think that was like a song that he immediately started writing, or do you think his manager called him and was like, "We got to do something.
We need it."
Yeah, because you are hanging on by a thread right now. People are not taking the news well.
We need a hit, Eric.
Yeah. If you call my name. Don't worry, I already got something cooking.
No.
All right, flight story. Hit us.
No, this is a good... I don't mind.
You're saying that he orchestrated the hit?
No. I meant like after... Like, I meant like how long do you think it took him to write the song? And who pushed him? Because someone pushed him to write that song.
Pushed him.
Yeah.
Because he was already becoming a neo-Nazi or whatever?
No, I think probably because people were like, well, what the fuck happened with your son?
Oh, and he had to explain it?
I think you got to come out with some sort of PR move after that.
You think that song was PR?
A little bit, yeah.
No.
You already are a famous musician. Your son falls out of a window. You don't think his team was scrambling? We got to get something out. Then it's got to be a fucking heater. They probably were like, you can either do Notes app or you can write a song.
He's like, as a comedian who likes to push boundaries.
Yeah.
Notes app.
Yeah.
You think that he was getting canceled for his son pulling up?
Yeah. 100%.
No way.
He left the window open. It was directly his fault. You don't think that there was any sort of like...
How old was his son?
A toddler.
Yeah.
No, I think his son thought it was
toddler.
like Superman or something.
The window was open. It was like a massive sky rise. It was 100 floors up.
Oh, come on, really?
Yeah. And Eric Clapton was on like a bender and left the window open.
You're making up the bender part.
No, I'm not!
Wait,
Look it up!
I'm looking it up.
He was on a bender.
And he just left the window open and the son just climbed out? See, I don't know.
Hold on.
Google AI says the boy did like to leave it against wind.
Yeah, that was just one of his favorite things.
Leaning
Against windows.
He died doing
And it didn't work out well because Eric Clapton, his favorite thing was leaving windows open.
1991, Eric Clapton's 4-year-old son, Connor, died after falling from a 53rd floor apartment window in New York City.
It's fucked up.
The accident occurred while a housekeeper was cleaning the open window and Connor was not in the room. When the housekeeper left to get cleaning supplies, Connor ran past her before the window could be closed. He landed on the roof of a neighboring 4-story building. So, if you do the math, that's 49 stories.
Nothing about a bender.
59, 53.
Look up if he was on a bender.
You're victim blaming.
I think he was on a bender.
The housekeeper was on the bender.
No,
The housekeeper was puffing
The
cleaning
housekeeper
supplies.
gave the son LSD, and the son said, "I've got wings." And said, "Try. It's worth a shot." And that's why the song was about angels.
What was his other song? Layla?
Oh, he had a bunch.
Layla.
That was in 1991.
I don't know why I thought it was earlier.
I thought that was...
The window was about 6 feet high and 4 feet wide, and it was left open. I mean, how do you have a skyscraper window that can open to that with no...
Like a ledge in front.
Nothing below it?
No one knows. I guess he wasn't on a bender. But that makes me think he was, because there was an answer.
That's probably why he went far right, because guys like you were trying to put smut on his name.
No, Eric Clapton was not on a bender or relapsed into substance abuse when his son died. It makes you think...
A lot of people are asking that question.
It makes you think he was.
No, you asked the question, and then they said directly no, and you're like, whoa, why are you so defensive?
Yeah, it was
Brock?
a direct quote from his team.
What do you have to hide, team?
Yeah,
Well, my heart goes out there at Clapton.
same with me.
No, it doesn't seem like it does. It
It's a
seems
great
like you're
song.
taking a lot of glee.
No, it's a great song.
I'd rather Connor still be here.
Same. Song's not that good.
Connor would be me and Francis's age. Connor was on the couch with us.
To your point, do you think that there was any part of Eric that was happy about how all things played out? Because that is his most enduring song, no?
It is, by far.
And you can't write that without your son
He could have.
leaping from the 53rd story.
Yeah. He could have written it. Maybe he already had it written.
Oh, there's a conspiracy.
So you're going back to he pushed it.
No. I'm just saying, like, maybe it happened, and then he was like, well, I guess the song's got to come out at some point.
You think he told the cleaning lady, "Hey, just so you know,
No, I don't think he set
it's
it
a little
up.
stuffy in here.
Maybe, like, his grandma was going to die.
Go ahead and leave that."
He was like, I'm going to write the song about my grandma. And then his son died, and he was like, well, I'm putting the song out now.
This is irreverent, bro.
Things.
I'm just saying. I'm just coming up with some theories.
I've never heard any of these theories. These are good theories.
They're not bad.
All right.
What are some other classics that he had? Okay, give us the hit it. Oh, he's got lower back pain, bro. Don't fucking talk shit on him. He's afflicted with lower back pain.
Yeah, from constantly unlatching that window. Try to release that song.
You got thoughts on Benoit?
On who?
Any thoughts on Benoit?
Yeah. Chris?
No, I don't.
Anything spicy to say?
No, I'm dying to hear this plane story, though.
He actually, Chris Benoit, they said his team was like, we hear about this new finishing move you've got. And
We want to give it a little extra edge.
ready to show the
We
world.
want to pitch something to you, Chris.
But then his team was like, we actually don't like it. And he's like, oh, I guess I have to kill myself. All right, well...
Where were you this weekend?
I was in Georgia, northwest Georgia.
Athens?
No.
Masters?
No. Rising Fawn is the name of the town. It's 55 minutes south of Chattanooga, Tennessee. Which is
Georgia.
What, sorry?
We talked about this last episode. I said there's great fly fishing up there.
Yeah, that I would have thought so. I mean, this is one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen in America.
Yeah.
It's amazing to see that. Like, it's in the middle of nowhere. It's at the base of the Appalachian Mountains. And super green, super lush, big valley. Really stunning.
It is always interesting when you find out that, like, most states have, like, a nice area.
Yeah, except for the ones around here.
I mean, I think most states are beautiful.
True.
I think that if you just click around on GeoGuessr in New York or New Jersey or Pennsylvania, I think you'd find some.
Yeah, you're right. I guess I could say like, I don't know, like Rhode Island sucks.
No, but the water in Rhode Island, the coastline.
Yeah, it's true.
Amazing.
That is true.
But it is nice to get out to Georgia and be like, wow, God's country.
And I'm pretty sure Chattanooga was a major sort of like entry point Confederate stronghold, one of the early spots that Grant had to burst through in order to, start heading down to the South and fighting the Civil War. And so you look around and you look at these hills and you're like, were there Union officers streaming up here?
Probably.
Getting bayoneted to death? I mean, that's kind of crazy, right?
Yeah.
It is always fun to think about that when you're near like a Gettysburg or something like that.
Yeah.
Bloodshed right here.
Yeah, for sure. So I was down there, and we were there from Wednesday until yesterday. I was there a long time.
Yeah.
Played a lot of golf, had a lot of fun with the 4 Boys. Those videos will come out soon. We were at this place, Macklemore.
Popping to the eggs.
Yeah. And it was sick. I mean, it was a really cool stay and play kind of full surface golf resort with a really nice hotel. Go check it out. Yesterday. I want more thing. You got to buy some of the pants that I bought.
I did.
You did?
With my own money.
Those are the best pants.
The 5 pocket?
Yeah, they're sort of like workman type things.
Yeah, I ordered one last week. This shirt is, well.
That's Vuori?
Let's talk about
Jesus.
it in the ad.
Dude, their stuff is awesome. This episode of Son of a Boy Dad is brought to you by Vuori. Vuori clothing. Rone is wearing an awesome waffle from Vuori.
So comfortable. I got this like maybe last week or 2 weeks ago. I can't stop wearing it.
Yeah.
It's so comfortable. It's so light, so breathable, so stylish. It makes me look like I'm in better shape than I am.
Dude, this is what I love about Vuori, is that they have managed to find this marriage between comfortable stuff that you would wear as like athleisure wear, but that actually looks like lifestyle stuff.
Stylish, fits well.
Yeah. Usually I feel like when athleisure wear brands try to do that, they fail. And you can tell that it's, some knockoff of like a yoga thing. But the truth is that Vuori has awesome kind of heavier duty stuff that looks cool. I have a lot of the pants now.
I bought a bunch of shorts. I think that there's some the core short, soft, lightweight, 4-way performance stretch, moves with you, no restriction. But I got like every type of short that they have. I have athletic shorts, lounging shorts, like kind of like nicer. There's like kind of like a corduroy type of short that they have. It's so nice.
And the t-shirts are the softest, most comfortable t-shirts I've ever owned in my entire life. That's what we love about Vuori. It's an investment in your happiness. And for our listeners, they are offering 20% off your first purchase.
Sheesh.
Get yourself some of the most comfortable and versatile clothing on the planet at vuori.com/boydad. That's VUORI.com/boydad. Exclusions apply. Visit the website for full terms and conditions. Not only will you receive 20% off your first purchase, but enjoy free shipping on any U.S. orders over $75 and free returns. Go to vuori.com/boydad. and discover the versatility of Vuori clothing. Exclusions apply. Visit the website for full terms and conditions. I had an option to take. There was only one direct flight home from Chattanooga. It was at 7 a.m. The airport was an hour from our hotel, so I would have had to be up at 4:30.
Yeah. Tough.
But I would have been home by 9:30 a.m. Alternatively, I could take a connecting flight starting at 10:30 a.m., fly south to Atlanta, and then fly back to New York.
Not terrible.
Allegedly, or supposedly get home at like 2:40, land at 2:40 p.m.
Much later, though.
I opted for that.
I think that's nice.
When I got to the airport in Chattanooga, the original flight, the 7 a.m., had been delayed till noon. And the woman said, I could switch you over to that, but if I'm honest, I don't think that flight's taking off today. Ooh. They have a bum wheel, and the maintenance crew is not coming.
How does she know all that?
She just knows.
She's fucking the maintenance dude.
By the way, when you go to small regional airports, you get answers like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because it's like Brandon Walker and Caitlin Walker both working there.
Yeah, that woman is part of the maintenance crew.
Yeah.
But she can't leave her desk because she's the only Delta agent in town.
Bless your heart, I'm talking to you. So
Yeah.
I can't fix the wheel.
She's like, they asked me to go back into my Jeep and pull the spare tire out of the trunk. But I said, it's not going to work. I need that. So she was like, I couldn't in good conscience put you on that one because I don't think it's going to leave today. Stick with your flight. I said, okay. My flight gets delayed 35 minutes. I have a tight connection in Atlanta.
Yeah.
As a result of that,
a fucking zoo.
I miss my connection.
Oh.
When I get to Atlanta, I have to go on the fucking tram, as you always do.
Yeah.
And then I'm running, and I get to the gate. It was supposedly leaving at 12:25. I get there at 12:23, and the woman said, you missed it by 5 minutes.
Damn.
I said, okay. I rebooked for 1:40 p.m.
Not bad.
Back to New York. Not bad. But thunderstorms are descending upon the Atlanta airport. I go to the Delta Lounge. I come back down to the gate. They're boarding the plane. Half the flight gets onto the gangway, the runway.
The runway?
No, it's not that.
Well, the gangway.
Sky plank.
The gang rip.
Is it the sky plank? No. The gang plank?
What are you referring to?
That accordion-like structure that connects to the plane.
The Sky Mall.
I think it's just called the tunnel.
No.
The tube.
It's not. There is a specific name for it.
Yeah, it's the gangway.
It's a gangbang.
It is. No, yeah, it's the gangbang. Yeah. That's what it's called. You had it right the first time.
It is the gangway.
There is a name for it. It's got gang and way and sky.
The Gangnam Style.
Ramp?
Something like that.
The gang ramp.
All right. So you're halfway down, then the entire airport at Atlanta gets hit with a ground stop.
Oh.
Every flight grounded because of the thunderstorm.
So did you get on? Were you on?
No.
Thank God.
No. But everyone gets off.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, wow, okay, this is starting to get shitty. I finally get on the plane, whatever. I go back to the Delta Lounge. Then they actually lift the ground stop like an hour later, and we all board. And I'm thinking, fucking hell, we got to get out of here because I think these thunderstorms are going to keep coming.
Yeah.
Jet Bridge.
Jet Bridge.
That's Ramoan. It's the
Jet Bridge.
Close to gangway.
I was dead wrong.
Yeah.
I wasn't even in the market.
No, not even close.
Not even in the area.
Didn't even have one of the words.
So I get on the plane, and first of all, I had a first class seat on my original flight. They give me a new ticket as I scan in.
It is a gangway though, a raised platform or walkway providing a passage. So that's a gangway.
I'll do gangway, but I like jet bridge. I think that's
jet
more
bridge.
accurate. But I know I put my new boarding on my phone. I put it down on the thing, and it prints me a new ticket that is in
first class.
No.
Oh. Coach.
But I said to myself, what would Harry do right now? Harry would threaten to bomb the plane if he doesn't get his first class seat to which he was originally assigned. I'm not going to do that.
I don't do that.
I'm not like Harry.
If I paid for the first class seat, obviously.
That is what Barstool booked me a first class seat.
Oh, okay.
I had a first class seat, and now I've been demoted.
Yeah, that's not a thing.
It is a thing, and it's what happened, and I made no fuss of it.
That's ridiculous.
I'm so glad you're sticking to your scruples.
Why would you not say anything?
Because I had been rebooked on a new flight that was already like highly sold, and everyone had already
class seats.
No, it was the same plane I would have been on, but all those first class seats had already been given to people that were like originally on that flight.
Yeah.
So the only seats they had left to add me to were in coach.
So you got moved to a coach seat when you switched flights.
Yes.
Yeah, that's happened to me. I thought you were locked in on first class on that flight.
Well, I had a first class seat, but then because I got rebooked, I no longer had a first class seat, even though my boarding pass said first class.
I feel like usually they'll be like, it's not going to be first class, and you got to be like, I'll take anything, just get me home. Did they have that? Did you have that conversation?
No.
Damn.
I just said, that's okay.
What did like Frankie and all them do?
They weren't on my plane. They drove to Augusta. Was they were doing something for the Masters.
Makes sense.
Yeah. But I just sucked it up and said, whatever, that's fine. Guess where my seat was?
Were you sitting on the gangway?
No, I wish. Well, I was 25. I was in the window seat, directly in line with the bathroom.
Yikes!
Sitting there.
Bathroom's on the left, my row. Door opens. You know, if the door had opened while someone was going to the bathroom, we would have had full view of it.
Yeah.
So you were hoping it would open.
Just directly on, right? I know this is a long story, but there is a point here. We start taxiing, and everyone's like excited because I thought I was going to have to spend the night in Atlanta. I thought these thunderstorms. I looked at it was pouring rain.
Yeah.
You were trying to get a table at Magic City.
That's it. And we're taxiing out. There's a guy in the aisle seat and a woman to my left. They're not together. The guy in the aisle seat is wearing a mask.
Yeah.
So already I'm like, this guy fucking sucks.
Yeah. He's got some sort of disease.
Yeah.
Or he's trapped 5 years ago.
Right. So we're taxiing, and the pilot comes on and he says, all right, like, good news is we're going to take off. Bad news is all the planes that had been ground stopped are now vying for the one runway, and most of them are heading north.
Yeah.
And we have to allow 10 miles between planes. So we're currently 15th for takeoff.
Yeah. It's tough.
He goes, it should take on the low end like 20 minutes or so. Yeah. So we're sitting there, it adds whatever, but it's okay. We get close, we get to like number 4. The guy comes on again, he's like, all right, now we're 4 for takeoff, everybody. Like, stewardesses or whatever, take your seats.
Yeah.
The guy in the aisle stands up and goes into the bathroom.
Yeah, now they're saying we can't take off unless that guy sits down.
One of the stewardesses comes on in the air and she goes, everybody please, the seatbelt sign is on. We are actively taxiing. We're about to take off. Like, we cannot take off unless everyone is in their seats. And if you do not return to your seat, I will be forced to tell the captain that, we have to stop. We have now been delayed. I've missed flights. I'm ready to fucking break the door down and rip this guy off the toilet mid-shit. Be like, sit the fuck down.
Yeah.
You are now causing an issue for everybody. We are all about to get fucked because of you.
Yeah.
Couple more minutes go by. I'm getting angry. I'm doing one of these. Looking around, looking for other people who are angry.
Yeah.
Like,
Science.
this guy? Can you believe this guy? Finally, he comes back out and he sits down. I am not making this up. We start moving again. We get to 2 in the line. The woman stands up, undoes her thing, and stands up. Bad. At this point, I'm ready to be like...
Are they together?
No.
Oh.
It almost felt like she thought because he had gone, it was all right for her to go.
And you're in Atlanta?
Yeah, but we're being given clear directions.
Race?
Not allowed to do this.
Races?
I'll say what hers was. She was, I want to say Indian, maybe? Or perhaps Persian? She had the henna tattoos on her hands. What is that?
I mean, I've seen it done in Dubai, but I don't know if that's...
Persians have notoriously small bladders.
My Persian sisters sound off on this bigot.
That's not as...
Do not let him get away with that.
No, that's true.
Persian way in uncommon.
That's true. All my Persian boys.
It could be Persian. It could be Iranian.
I don't know where the henna... But she had that. She had the henna tattoos. But no other sort of
signifiers,
markings, or religious wear or anything like that. Luckily, there was a flight attendant sitting in front of the bathroom, and he saw her unbuckle, and he goes, "Don't do it." Straight up said that.
That's
he goes,
hilarious.
"Don't do it."
Wait, who said the guy across from her?
The flight attendant who was sitting in the jump seat against the front of the bathroom.
Yeah.
Or like the back of the bathroom. Saw her get up and he goes, "Don't do it." And so she looks and she sits back down. I'm like, I swear to God, I almost turned to her. Because we took off 3 minutes later.
Yeah.
I almost turned to her and went, "What were you thinking?" I wanted to ask her that. I wanted so badly to say, "What were you thinking?
Yeah.
Why would you have done that?"
I thought we had time.
We were so clearly told not to do that as a result of the guy next to us.
Yeah.
You watched that
the black
happen?
guy with the mask?
Yeah. How did you know? How did you know that?
You did say his race.
Yeah. I couldn't tell if he had henna tattoos or not. If he did, he should have done them in like white, like a photo negative.
Yeah.
Like a blank space tattoo. Anyway, so we take off, we reach cruising altitude. She jumps up out of her seat and goes to the bathroom. When she opened the door, I was hit with a wave of poop. That was beyond belief. And I instantly forgave her.
Yeah.
She had to go to the bathroom so badly.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, in a way, this justifies it.
Yeah.
Because
She wasn't just having a cheeky pee.
no.
She was about to fucking unleash the gates of hell.
Oh my.
That's what people want, though. When you're inconveniencing someone with having to go to the bathroom, they're hoping it's the worst shit you've ever taken.
It's like when there's a traffic jam on the highway and you're like, someone better have died.
Yeah.
It's like, you better be shitting your pants if you have to stop the plane.
I had to breathe out of my mouth for 5 straight minutes. I turned my air on. She's sitting next to me.
Yeah.
And I felt bad. I mean, everybody knows what had happened. Everybody's aware that it was her. It is what it is. But yeah, and I know I immediately thought of your joke.
What one? Oh, the girl shitting next to me on the plane?
Yes, of course.
It's an original. It's one of my first jokes.
That's not a Schumer?
No. No, I wrote that one.
It's not a...
Oh, yeah, actually, I wrote that one.
Oh my god. What did she show signs of shame?
No, she opened her laptop and started working, and then I watched her work for a while.
That's like that, I've told that story about Gardini. He shit on the
To
plane.
ensure that she was actually doing work and not just covering up to the fact that she had just quite literally blown up the plane. I mean, it was so bad.
Yeah, it's tough.
It was so bad. And then the guy on the left opened up a Tupperware thing of leftovers. And he had a fillet of salmon.
Oh.
And
Not bad.
the smell of that with her,
Yeah.
it kind of started convincing me that it was more food than poop.
Yeah.
And I got over it because I was not feeling
Well, eventually, if you're on the plane long enough, the smells kind of just blend together.
yeah.
And you had a full week of living it up with Jerry and shit like that. You guys were probably pretty hungover.
I wasn't hungover really, but I didn't feel great. I mean, yeah, we didn't.
You hitting the cocktails pretty hard this weekend?
No.
A cocktail weekend?
No.
Transfusions?
I don't really drink those.
Mid julep. It's more of mid julep season down in Georgia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A minced julep.
I've told the story about when Gardini told me about when he was sitting in first class and he had to take a shit and he got out of the bathroom and he sat down in his plane and the flight attendant was just staring right at him because she was sitting in the jump seat by the bathroom. And then she made direct eye contact with him and the gang pulled out perfume and then just started spraying while just staring right at him.
Well, I think that's the same type of thing as when people get mad at babies for crying on a plane. Okay, so if you guys were going to have your first gay experience with someone in the Barstool office, would you prefer to be a straight guy or a gay guy?
Definitely
Gay guy.
a gay guy.
Gay guy. Yeah.
Because for a gay guy, that's just another gay experience.
Well, they can walk me through it.
So it's just, I just fucked. A straight dude, then you're ending up in the White Lotus situation where you're like, can we just never fucking talk about that, ever?
I talked to Tommy about it. He was like, definitely a straight guy
because Tommy's a gay guy.
it's both your first time. That's why he said it.
It's not your first time fucking though. So you still know how to fuck.
So you're saying that you'd rather a gay guy kind of like guided you through the experience?
No, I think I think you go assuming it's something that I'm gonna feel immense shame about afterwards.
I mean, you're out in the wilderness. It's like saying, if I go summit Everest and I have no hiking experience, do I want...
You think fucking a gay guy is the same thing as summiting Everest?
Same exact thing. Yeah. It's scary. It's new.
Yeah.
You're out of breath.
It's a rush. It's a rush like no other.
You're a little lightheaded. There's usually a small Nepalese man there.
That's what I'm saying. Do you want an experienced Sherpa to guide you up the mountain, or do you want another guy who's like, boy, I've never even been outside?
But that's like saying,
It's
do you
good-
want it
good
to be a
question.
great experience?
No.
Like you want it to rule?
As a straight male, you'd hope it's awful.
I think I want
To
it...
affirm your belief?
Yeah.
If I know it's going to be the only time I do it, I want it to be as good as it could be. I want it to be the best.
But it probably won't be the only time you do it if it's great.
Why do you say that? You don't know that.
Because if you fuck a dude and you're like, this is way better than fucking girls, you're probably gonna keep fucking dudes just on the
Well,
low.
not necessarily. I mean, I think it could still be good, but ultimately I do prefer vag.
How do you know? You never fucked ass.
I don't...
You never fucked dude ass.
Yeah, I was going to say, you don't know how much ass I've been in.
I mean, if you're fucking
You ever clap cheeks?
ass,
Mm-hmm.
no, not for me.
Never been in there?
No.
It's so much. It's funny when guys are like, "I want to get some ass."
Yeah, I gotta get some ass tonight.
Getting ass because you don't know how much ass they've got. But it is an interesting question. Sound off in the comments if you'd rather have your first sexual experience be with a gay man or with a straight man if you're going gay.
Well, that kind of loops back in the White Lotus.
At the end of it?
Yeah. Did we talk about that?
No,
I don't think we did.
we were saving it. We were saving it for after the audition crash.
You called the
The planned audition.
you called the blender being a major piece.
A lot of people are giving me flowers for that.
You did.
Yeah, shout it out. Just I should have said out loud that I knew that.
Well, no, you did call it. The blender was a major piece that ended up being nothing for some reason.
Well,
Like that didn't make any that could not have been a less of a ending to that plot line.
I don't agree with that.
Dude, he killed his kid, and then
He almost killed his whole family except for the one he accidentally he was trying to save because that kid was pure. He was the one
Well, he wasn't.
member of the family.
I think the point was that he was the creepiest one.
No, the whole point.
I tried to save him.
No, but I think like as the viewer, it was kind of like, oh, he's saving the wrong kid. That kid's fucked.
You think that was
No,
a bad kid? I thought
no.
it was a pure kid.
He
The whole
jerked
point-
off his brother.
Because he's
You're
a people
talking-
pleaser. He's a
It's
people
not a
pleaser.
people pleaser. That's a freak.
He said, "You like coming. You
He said,
like
all you
getting
care
off.
about is
I
getting
just
off."
wanted to do nice things for you."
In a family full of narcissists.
Yeah, no, that fuck that kid.
He was the only one who was willing to live with nothing.
I was pissed when his eyes opened back up. Close them.
Well, it would have been a nice like.
Then I'm like, he needs more protein. He needs more protein shake.
A lot of like the good people got bad came to them, and a lot of the bad people were absolved basically.
Yeah, I just didn't understand. Like everything felt rushed. Like the dad's gonna kill the entire family. Great build up. You're like, holy shit, this is. I was like, this is almost too dark. This is fucked.
Well, you knew it wasn't gonna happen.
I thought it was gonna happen. There was 20 minutes left in the episode. I didn't think there was gonna be another twist, which there was.
Right in the dad killing his kids.
Why they let Walter Goggins go on like a shooting spree at the end?
Walter Goggins?
What's his name? Walton?
You're just always so close, but not quite
Walton?
on it.
Yeah, who gives a fuck? Walton.
Goggles.
No, he let Walton Goggins go on the shooting spree. Two things that didn't make sense. The only endings that made sense were Greg and the lady getting all the money, and then Walton Goggins. I guess his ending made sense, but who gives a fuck about his ending? I think the only thing anyone wanted to see was what was going to happen with the family, and then he almost kills the family. The family doesn't die. and then he kills his son, and then his son comes back to life, the dad's crying, and then it cuts to the next scene and they're on the boat. Like, we never even saw, like, the family learning that his
I think
dad
the whole
tried to
point
kill
is
all
that
of them.
all of that needed to happen for the dad to be okay with the fact that his family was about to find out about his financial clusterfuck, and he said, we're going to be able to get through this as a family.
I guess, yeah. But then even, like, the 3 women. Like, so they were pretty much in a mass shooting, and then it cuts to them. The next time we see them, they're on the boat, smiling, laughing, looking at Instagram.
That was wild that they just sent the boat off later.
Like, that was just time to go back on the boat. Two dudes that we've been hanging out with the entire week just died next to us. But
What?
They weren't hanging out with us.
or I guess the security guys. But if you were on vacation and you were leaving vacation and then 2 dudes next to you got shot and fell into the water, you think you'd be on the flight home being like, what a vacation. What a great week that was. Crying because of how great the week was. The only thing I guess the only thing that could have been better is if those 2 dudes didn't get killed next to us while we were leaving the hotel.
Look, I think the whole show is a little far-fetched, right? Isn't that the point?
No, I don't think it is. Like, I feel like it's not that far-fetched if it didn't end that way. Everything at the end was far-fetched.
I thought that I liked the series a lot, and I think that people like really want White Lotus to be like, I don't know, I don't even know what they want it to be, but they like want it to be perfect in their mind, or I don't.
Yeah.
I thought it was just like such an interesting character study, and like the dynamics of the women's relationship isn't like lost because the ending didn't like fit together like a perfect puzzle piece. Like I thought that like all the women together were like such interesting character studies on like female friendship. That I thought that the show was a triumph.
I loved it. I think it's
Oh, you guys are lying to yourselves.
I think it's the most visually stimulating show. I think the colors, the clarity, whatever fucking cameras they're using, I don't understand how that show can look that way and all of those shows don't look anything close to it. Do you have any thoughts on that? What's going on there? What? Long lenses, lots of stuff is blurred, soft focus. Season rankings?
1, 2, 3.
I didn't think that. I liked them all, honestly.
I think I'd go 1, 3, 2.
I thought that the 3rd season, the entire time, like I have the exact same take as Tommy, where it's like the whole season I was like, this is great. I loved the actual season, and then the finale I was like, this doesn't make any sense. Really? I didn't understand like the security, like the Walton Goggins thing didn't make sense to me because why were the security guards like that? Just it didn't make sense.
I thought their
entire job is to take care of those 2, the people that own the hotel, and when Walton Goggins was within 10 feet of them, after he's gotten in multiple arguments with the dude, they're just gonna like take a stroll.
I thought that the scene where he sort of cryptically, the old man says, "Oh, I knew your dad. Your dad wasn't such a good guy after all." It's like, dude, you're really referring to yourself. In hindsight, you're gonna
I
tell.
laughed out loud when he was like, "He is your dad."
Yeah,
What
that
the fuck
felt.
is this Star Wars? What are we talking about?
Yeah, it was a little far fetched. I did think that was an unnet. It felt so trite to me.
It just didn't make. It was just an unnecessary twist.
Yeah, you're really trying to shoehorn that classic, whatever Oedipal thing in there.
He is your dad.
Yeah.
No. Like that's the reaction that Mike White was hoping for from the audience, that we were going to be like, oh,
Right.
it is his dad.
Yeah, but you're 130 IQ. Like,
It was the dad the whole time.
Probably some 125 IQs out there that were fucking. You just expect everybody to experience it at your level. There were probably some people who were shocked by that.
I just feel like the dad's plot line was easily the best. Like that family was the best plot line the entire time. And
Totally.
I think it ended quite terribly.
I think it was an interesting plot line.
Yeah, the plot line was great.
Okay, different question. Do you think anything from this season was set up for the next season? And if so, what? Which characters might carry over?
I thought it was interesting that who's the sister's name that got the bag? What was the sister who got the bag? You know the sister that I'm talking about? Her son was there.
Oh, was it?
5 million.
Yeah, was it? Belinda.
Linda.
She was in both seasons, I think.
The first season and the third.
I think she was in the second too.
She wasn't.
She?
She wasn't in season 2.
Because she worked at the White Lotus in Hawaii. But she got left behind in the first season because she wanted to start a business, and then the rich person left.
And then that dude at the end wanted to start the business.
So maybe there's a storyline of him coming back into the
Yeah, maybe.
like that because there was a parallel.
Greg?
No, the guy that worked at the
Oh yeah. Yeah.
that she was fugsing.
Mm-hmm.
She used him for a sweet Asian body.
His sweet Asian bod, and then
He did look good.
If we're talking stuff being rushed at the end, the guy talk immediately being like the driver with sunglasses on as they leave the scene of the crime, like that was a little bit fast too. That he was already her body.
Yeah, all he did was shoot one guy in the back.
well, I guess all the other security guards died.
Yeah, but
Well,
she had
the
to
dog
tell
just
him
killed
20 times, shoot him, kill him,
Yeah,
shoot
yeah.
him, kill him. I don't think that's what you want.
But I thought he was being a bit of a pussy. Guy talk. What would the Buddha do? The girl from Blackpink's trying to give you the yams.
Yeah, she's
Shoot, you need to shoot.
she's so pretty. I love her. Connor Mooks.
Oh yeah, Mook.
I didn't
didn't
like
really
how
fuck with her.
classist she was. She was so classist. She only liked him when she thought he was ascending.
Yeah,
But did the Russian brothers get away with it? They did, right? Because then
the Russian brothers got away.
I would have liked to see some comeuppance for the Russian brothers.
There was no resolution to that. I thought them, having robbed the hotel would turn into a more of a important plot moment.
You would think,
Yeah.
but they decided we're just gonna not touch that.
He got out of it by just being like, please don't tell on me. And Guy talks like, fuck, he asked me not to tell on him.
Yeah,
I'm going to quit.
Yeah.
This is too hard.
Valentin.
Fucking shoot him in the back, bro.
Mm-hmm. Back shots.
yeah. I don't know. I thought the last 2 episodes were stinkers. I thought the opposite for Severance. I thought Severance season dog shit finale incredible.
Have you guys gotten into love?
What is that? What was that?
Just had some chills.
Why?
Chilly. I don't know.
Chilly. He's just kind of chill. You don't see the hair standing out?
That was worrisome.
You don't see his erect
It's a full body. That was like when you're about to fall asleep.
Mm-mm.
It was a full body jerk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Love on the Spectrum this season is fucking amazing.
Well, I'm watching the studio now.
The studio is also amazing. I'm all 3 episodes in.
All 3 episodes in. Phenomenal.
Haven't started it.
Phenomenal.
I just don't have that much time to watch TV
Lightfoot
anymore.
in it too. Was Gordon Lightfoot in that, or was it in White Lotus finale? Can't remember.
I don't know who Gordon Lightfoot is.
You don't know that song?
You know it's a phenomenal movie, Hairball?
I don't.
The Good Shepherd.
Good movie.
I'm watching it again.
Seen it 9
You
times.
have more time for TV if you didn't watch movies so many times.
You're probably right about that.
Yeah, you could watch the studio.
But I'm reading the Grant biography, and I actually feel like it's like a cup of water that never ends. Like, I think pages are getting added as I keep reading. I don't feel like I'm any closer.
MC Escher's staircase.
Yeah, I don't think I'm any closer to the end now than I was 2 weeks ago, and I've read hundreds of pages.
Yeah.
That's how brutal.
How long is the book?
960 pages.
Damn.
It sucks when reading feels like a chore like that. Like, I'm not saying you're saying it's feeling like a chore.
It is now.
When you feel like you have to get through something to accomplish something. It just feels counterintuitive to what should be an enjoyable activity.
You know what's comforting about this book in some weird way is that the same level of like hatred and sort of blaming the other party for the nation's ills existed in 1870, probably obviously because it's right after the Civil War, as do today. But all the sort of like, they've got the power, they're fucking it up, we're going to try to take over and blame them for everything stuff. It's been the same way forever.
Yeah, it's not even indicative of the United States. It's indicative of like all cultures and countries and just human nature.
In politics, yeah. So in a weird way, you know, you think to yourself, for some reason, I often romanticize past presidential run, whatever, tenures, and think that there was a time when our country was a little more healed or cohesive. And I think that, I don't know if that's ever been the case. I don't know if it's ever.
We've had multiple wars over our own country's politics.
Yeah.
The Revolutionary War, the Civil War.
I wonder if there was ever a time
Vietnam
when the party that was not in the presidency or not in power or whatever was able to just the majority of the non-powered party was able to say, yeah, they're not our guys, but you know what? They're doing a pretty damn good job. Was the left under Reagan saying he's pretty good?
I think that when times are like that, people start to hyper-fixate on things that really don't matter. And they put them, at a really high level of importance. And people will start arguing about, video games and shit like that. But the video games are making the kids violent.
Yeah.
It's things have to be going pretty fucking good for you to be zeroing your focus on something that's that small.
Reagan was big on drugs. He was huge on drugs.
Yeah.
You know, the war on drugs, keeping drugs out of our kids. Nancy Reagan, I think that was her whole platform.
Yeah, they were putting people and giving people life in prison for having a gram of weed.
Yeah. And then Clinton, you know, pretty good president, I would say. Similar, right?
And then people hyper-fixated on his
affair. But I also remember people were pretty miffed about the way he handled the Bosnian Herzegovina war. The Serbian
He used too busy on Epstein's Island to give a fuck about that.
About the Bosnians. He was getting necked.
Jeff, you hear about the Bosnians?
I think that
Just a minute, I'm about to bust.
Throw me that clear Pepsi and let's enjoy ourselves.
FDR would be the guy where the whole country was yeah, we're behind you. Yeah, but that's because of a war. In times of war, the country does get behind the president.
Makes sense.
Because they were probably sick of fucking Herbert Hoover and fucking Silent Cow.
Calvin Coolidge.
Fucking chicken in every pot, my ass, Hoover.
Damn straight. Hoover.
Chicken in every pot. Fucking dumbass. He didn't have a fucking chicken for us. And then he was like, let them eat cake.
Let them eat cake. Fuck it.
JK, that was Antoinette. Big titty. Where did Antoinette have the...
I think she was chesty.
Or no, the coupe champagne glass is supposedly modeled to Marie Antoinette's breast.
Is that so?
Mm-hmm.
I've heard that.
She had a very thin breast.
Thin breast.
Thin and sharp.
But the French at that time, they were putting their titties out.
Oh, big time.
See if we can get a portrait of Marie Antoinette.
Thin breast.
Yeah, it's like a tube. Oh, if it's modeled after the champagne glass.
The top. No, it's not. It's not that. It's not that. It's not a champagne coupe.
Oh, I thought that's what you
said. A flute.
Oh.
Champagne flute is the champagne glass. A coupe is the round one that...
It's like a martini. Close to a martini.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's round sides with a thin stem, yeah.
She was... I mean, that's a low-cut shirt for Marie Antoinette.
Yeah.
None of our first ladies had tit out like that. None ever has.
She's got broad chest.
What do you mean? Like a broad chest or like a broad chest?
She's a broad chest.
Like, it's broad?
She has a broad chest. Big. Wide.
Are you a tits guy, Sass? Do you like tits?
Love tits.
Really?
Who doesn't?
Man. I go back and forth. Because I like butt, too.
I guess,
Butt's not bad.
I guess Melania has some racy pictures.
Does she?
But will it go down in this? Will those go down in history as like the most known images of her?
Melania?
I haven't seen Melania's racy photos.
She was in like Maxim. Like, do you think that people will be like, oh, the American president's wives in the early 2000s were fucking...
Boy, imagine how much puss Barron Trump is getting these days in college. 7 feet tall. Going to NYU.
Though.
Yeah, but it's like he's the bad boy. Do you know what I mean?
NYU? I don't know if he's getting any puss.
Why do you say that? He's in the city. He's throwing down his black card at Up and Down on Tuesdays.
Because NYU kids are like the most liberal people on the planet.
That's my point. He's the forbidden fruit.
Damn.
Wow.
Ass naked on a private jet.
You were able to get those nudes of Melania Trump up a lot faster than you were able to get the Robert De Niro photo.
My wife said that I shouldn't show it to you after what you said last week about our children.
Good.
Interesting.
Agreed.
You nasty, nasty boy.
So this is fake. I can throw it away.
I mean, it's yours. You can do whatever you want.
You really don't.
When you were gone, he goes, I go, so what happened? I was like, you actually met Robert De Niro? And he goes, yeah. And then he goes, he told the story. He goes, he gave me a pat on the back. And then he goes, we took a photo on someone else's phone.
I was here for all of this.
You weren't paying attention, though? You're playing chess?
Want me to finish the story?
Sure.
Took the photo on my wife's phone. And you said, why didn't you put it up on Instagram?
No, I said, can I see? No, I didn't.
Oh, yes, you did.
I never said that.
You said, why didn't you? Who takes a photo and doesn't
Whoa.
put it up
Voice
immediately?
changer.
I had a little bit of a frog in my
I
throat.
could tell. But, no, he said, we took the photo. I said, can I see the photo? He said, I don't have the photo. And I said, well, then why did you? I said, you phrased it like you said that you weren't able to get the photo.
What?
The way that you phrased it, you made it seem like you were giving yourself insurance to be like, if I asked to see the
I
photo.
asked my wife immediately to send the photo.
Let me see.
She said, I'm not going to.
Let me see. Let me see.
She didn't send it.
Exactly. Because you didn't meet Robert De Niro. You're the boy who cried wolf. You understand what you've got yourself into. This isn't on me. This is on you.
I can't believe if he is telling the truth, you're being very, very rude right now.
No, I understand that. Yeah, I agree with that. But you also have to understand I think there's still a good chance that this is fake.
Robert De Niro might have the best character in The Good Shepherd. Can I say this? I'll say something
I'm
here.
gonna look up his signature.
Watching that movie, that's a good idea. I wished that I had gone to Yale instead of Harvard.
Really?
Because I would have been in Skull and Bones.
That's the acting thing, or that's the Secret Society?
It's the Secret Society. My grandfather was in it.
Really?
And went straight to the CIA. I've told that story before.
It would have been funny if you were in the CIA.
Do you know there's only 12 people in each secret society total? What? Yeah, I think it's 12 or 6, maybe it's 16. I'm pretty sure.
I would definitely watch a show about the secret societies.
I think knowing that, like, because my grandfather had been in it and the way I was, I would think that I would have probably been in it. And that would have been pretty cool. To the tables down at Moy's.
Was he in a rush?
What?
Was he in a rush?
Probably. I don't know why.
He's having a hard time finding his signature.
Having a hard time finding it?
This one looks pretty similar.
Yeah, no shit.
I believe
first couple
it.
don't at all.
I believe this one. I'm gonna
That
go ahead.
Doesn't look anything like it.
I'm gonna believe this one, Hairball. I think you need to relinquish the fight here.
That does. This looks similar.
If there's anyone that's similar, then it is the one.
Fucking insane. To get a KSN and be like, see if this is counterfeit.
Because last time you told me this, you said you did Blow with Jake Gyllenhaal, and then I went and told everyone I know, and then next thing I know, it's on the Barstool homepage, and I'm getting called a fucking retard.
No one called you a retard.
Yes, they did. The whole joke was, oh, look how dumb he is. He believed something one of his friends told him.
That thing got taken from and was put all over TikTok, and people believed it as a real Jake Gyllenhaal story. They're like, look at what Jake Gyllenhaal did. It was on like individual TikToks getting hundreds of thousands of upvotes or likes.
Upvotes.
Sorry, bro.
Reddit head.
Reddit community. I've been on r/mock drafts.
I got to see the photo. I'm gonna have to get the photo. Should I call the restaurant too?
You can. You already said their
Put Bobby on.
their number out loud.
Let me talk to Bobby. It's Marty. It's Scorsese. Put Marty on the fucking phone.
De Niro.
Put Bobby on.
It's Marty.
Taxi Driver 2.
Do you know a girl that he rates her rose up?
Ask Bobby what he thinks. Tell him to call me back.
Is everything okay, Marty? Your voice? There's a frog in your throat.
I just woke up.
It's 8 p.m.
He's doing a totally inaccurate Martin Scorsese impression.
Uh-huh.
I'm just waking up. Getting over something. I just had no.
Tell Bobby to call me. It's urgent.
Right away, man. First Scorsese. Mr. Buscemi. I always thought it was Buscemi.
I think it is.
Michelle.
Studio reference.
Caper Lant is so funny.
Yeah, very.
Fucking hilarious. One of my top comedians. And notice I didn't say top female comedians.
Mm-hmm.
I find it to be reductive.
Top overall. Top overall.
I don't even put them in different categories.
Nah, why would you?
I love them all together. Frauds. Joke thieves. I put them all in with the greats. Doesn't matter. That's why Schumer's up there, too.
I went fishing this weekend. Caught 10 trout.
Wow.
Got to use that rod that dude. Yeah, I got to use my new rod.
Patron rods.
Shit was insanely good.
You would be like, see, this is real cork. I don't believe that this rod is actually what the guy says it's made.
Patron hasn't lied to me.
He's got you there.
Oh, Patron hasn't lied to me multiple times. Made me look like a fool.
You just looked up the signature.
Yeah, but that's something you would do.
What?
You would absolutely do. You would look up the signature and you would do it like you'd probably took like 8 of these cards home. And then you just sat in your living room just practicing the signature for an hour. You would do that. You would. But is that not something he would do?
I agree.
He would do that.
He loves a good caprice.
Yeah.
And
Can you not imagine Rone?
Look, there's a reason I'm a neutral party here.
Pretending to write down Robert De Niro's signature for 2 hours straight.
I am not.
Give it back to me. If you don't want it, give it back to me.
You should name.
I'll literally find another dude named Harry.
I got a good proposition for you. You name the firstborn Harry. Happy birthday. Go be great, Harry.
I thought it was like a funny gift to give to you.
Because it's fake.
No, because Robert De Niro, instead of like making it about me in the moment, thinking of you on your birthday to do something, and all you've done is spit in my face.
Because I'm debating on it. Like, if it is real, it's probably one of the best gifts I've ever gotten.
Exactly.
But if it's fake, then I'm going to throw it away.
Why?
Because I'm not going to keep a fucking piece of paper that you signed yourself.
I didn't sign it myself.
Oh, it's just like the idea of Rone sitting in his apartment. I know you can see it.
I didn't.
Wife's asleep. He's just watching he's watching college basketball.
His fingers are stained from the ink of the
covered
pen.
in blue.
He's tried 7 different pens.
The left hand just covered in ink.
There's a wax candle that's dripped down to the fucking nub.
Yeah.
It's not it. Just throwing him over his shoulder is a pile of...
Can you not see Rome walking out of a restaurant, seeing it says De Niro on it, and grabbing like a stack of them? He doesn't even know what he's going to do with them yet, but he grabs the stack. Yes. It's absolutely something you would do. I don't even believe that you did it like in the moment. I think you just took the stack.
What do you mean did it in the moment?
Like, I think you were walking out, you saw this, and you're like, oh, I'm going to take a couple of these, and then you took them, and then you were like, I'm going to write.
Your handwriting sample?
You might have to.
Hairball, can you do me a favor, though?
Yeah.
Okay. In the event that is real, I'd like you to stop handling it so much. Because I think that it will lose value the more that you touch it. Right now, it's like a PSA 6. And we need to keep that before it, any lower. I want us to frame that. Let's put it in one of those card protectors.
I know. I have one with me.
Because you want to see both sides. You want to see Bobby's artwork, and you want to see... Literally, what are you looking for? Imperfection?
Yeah. I'm going to have to bring this to a pawn shop or something.
You should.
Yeah. Get it checked.
You should. Get it verified. Go bring it back to the restaurant.
So he just hangs out there all the time?
No, they said that he was going to specifically be there then. I mean, I don't know what more factors of verification you want, other than I showed you the text messages from the guy.
You did show me the text messages, but you didn't show me the photo, which is raising concern.
My wife doesn't fuck with me.
I mean, it was a mistake.
That's not true.
That's true.
That can't be true.
Dude, you don't understand, man.
What do I not understand?
When you said that joke, hilarious. But
I hope it was worth it.
comes with a big cost.
I hope it was worth it because it was so funny. But there's a cost.
There's a lot of questions that are.
The benefit is like explosive, like lasts for everybody.
But if your wife hated me, you probably wouldn't have asked for the signature.
Well, the thing is, I don't hate you.
But like, you're gonna bring that up in front of your wife, fresh off her deciding to hate me. You're gonna ask Robert De Niro to sign a card for me.
Of course, it's your birthday.
But your wife hates me.
Okay, she didn't have anything to do with it. It was Robert De Niro and me.
Well, you went into a separate room.
No, I asked him right there.
He took you to the private room.
So our table was up against like a half wall. I'm on this seat. My wife's friend's here. My wife's across. He comes up over this shoulder, and there's this half wall, and he signed it on there. It wasn't like me asking my wife over there if like, hey, can I ask Bobby to sign this?
I see. It's crazy.
It's a nice gift, and you're being an asshole about it.
I don't think I'm being an asshole. I wouldn't go that far.
Well, you're being a doubting Thomas.
I'm being a doubting Thomas for sure.
I think that if Rone were not known for hijinks,
Yeah.
then you would still find a way to not be appreciative of that gift.
Scapegoat that I've like told a whopper before.
Is there anything that you can think of that either of us have done for you or given to you where you thought, wow, that's awesome. I can't believe how nice that is. That's so kind.
Yeah, this is real.
No, before that.
A million holes in it.
Before that?
Yeah. Have I ever done anything that made you happy?
Yeah, sure. Have I ever done anything that made you happy?
Oh my God, so many times.
And you have them all memorized?
I could rattle off 5 right now. I could rattle off 5 right now. No problem.
I could rattle off like 2 per.
So 4.
Yeah, 4. I don't know if I could rattle off 5. It's a little much.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm not going to say them.
No.
Embarrass myself on the show.
Mm. Yeah.
Just do one each. Nah. See, there's nothing. There's clearly nothing.
Yeah. Correct.
I could give you a gold bar. Best gold these days.
There's no chocolate inside?